Take two. Let's try it again. Y'all, I am sweating like a sinner at church. But I have homework to do. I have a test I need to study for. My aunt is visiting from Mars and she never visits from Mars. No work? I can't do that. I got to work. I'm allergic to rest. You don't understand. This week I have to have a Marvel movie marathon. But there's like 50 Marvel movies and counting. Exactly. These are all the excuses people give for not resting weekly. And what you end up looking like is Cactus Bud trying to do things in your own strength. You may be wondering what we're talking about today, and I'm so excited to tell you. Shabbat Sabayon. Shabbat Shalom. The Sabbath. We're talking about the Sabbath. The Sabbath? Why was I frowning? The Sabbath basically means to stop, to cease, to rest. Now, I could go a whole lot of different directions with this, but I've narrowed it down to 2 points. Sweet and simple, like lemons and green beans. I made that up. Lemons aren't even sweet. I should have just said sweet tea. 2 big points that will lead to the bigger point.
Now, technically, for those of you who are counting, that is 3 points, but because I'm in charge,
It's 2.
Point number 1. What does God say about the Sabbath? I'm going to answer your question by not answering your question. But let's go to the Bible. My Bible is very well loved and used, and it's falling apart. And it's okay.
It's really hard to find Bibles in this pandemic.
We're gonna go to the beginning, Genesis chapter 2. Let me tell you what it don't say in the Bible. It don't say that God was exhausted and therefore he fell out on the ground and passed out for days because he exhausted himself so much that he couldn't move. Because that's what y'all be doing out here in the streets. It said that he blessed the Sabbath day and he rested. God did not work himself to death.
not that he could because he's God, but that's besides the point.
While the Sabbath day is for rest, the Bible does not say that being tired is linked to the rest that God decreed on the Sabbath day. What am I saying? Just stay with me, fam. Another thing the Bible does not say: go to church all day on the Sabbath. Pray all day. Pray in tongues all day on the Sabbath. The word of God, it does not say that. In Exodus chapter 20, verses 8 through 10, the commandment specifically said, do no work. Okay, depending on your translation, it might word it differently, but basically the main point is don't work. And then it specifies who can work on the Sabbath. You, your son, your daughter, your male servant, your female servant, your cattle,
Dishonor on you, dishonor on your cow.
and the stranger that is within your gates. Everybody. So we know what the word of God says about the Sabbath. Let's talk about culture. Point number 2. What does culture say about the Sabbath? Stay on your grind. I'll sleep when I'm dead. Actually, you won't. Culture idolizes people who work themselves to death. We love to hear about the underdog who started from the bottom and rises to the top. And sometimes we feel like we don't deserve rest until we finish our impossible to reach goal or schedule or agenda that we set for the week. And that is just wrong. This is what culture says: if I'm not exhausted by the end of the week, did I really deserve this day off? This is why it's so important that the Bible does not say that because God was tired, he rested. Now I understand that he is God. He neither faints nor is weary. His understanding is unsearchable. He's amazing. He's all these things, right? He's not going to get tired. In the Bible, it doesn't say anything about the Sabbath day being earned through exhaustion. There isn't really a prerequisite. But let me say this: I am not excusing laziness. What I'm saying is just don't work yourself to death. The big point. The big point. The big point. What is the purpose of not working on the Sabbath? The Sabbath day is less about being tired and needing rest and more about trust. What does that mean? By resting, we are releasing the tendency to want to control our lives and declaring our trust in the Lord, recognizing that he ultimately provides our needs. Jehovah Jireh. Exodus says, your son, your daughter, your male servant, your female servant, your cattle, which in the 21st century would be like your dog or that squirrel over there that's running through the rain. It is so important for us to take a step back from everything that we do. Your schoolwork, your grades, your family, your friends, your taxes, your rent. Work, work, work. Because if you don't, you're in danger of worshiping yourself instead of God by thinking you can provide all that you need by yourself. And you can't. The Sabbath is a practice designed to help us outgrow that particular sin, that need to say, I'm my own God. I can do everything in my own strength. The Sabbath smacks that in the face and says, stop, cease.
Because, the definition at the beginning of,
That's idol worship, fam. And you don't want to worship yourself. If you're asking yourself who's on the throne of your heart and it is you and how hard you work, then you're not Sabbathing right. That's why keeping the Sabbath is sometimes called a spiritual discipline. It takes work. It takes practice. And God is so gracious that He gives us a day every week to practice that spiritual discipline, to practice trusting Him, to remind ourselves that He is Jehovah Jireh. He does provide my needs. He can do everything that I can't. And if I stop working for one day, the world's not going to fall apart. So the next time you think about the Sabbath day, walk into it with the mindset of trusting God, knowing that He ultimately provides all our needs. Jehovah Jireh! So stop, cease, keep, and rest. Every week, smile and wave, boys, smile and wave.